Again. Choo-choo, Terry, choo-choo. Thanks for propagation. What is up, Ham Radio? Kilo Echo 8 Papa Zulu November. Ham Radio Adventure Guy. Thanks for stopping by. Your one stop for everything Adventure Radio. It is Hump Day.
It is.
Time for the Hump Day Happy Hour. Before we get started, as always, we're going to thank these guys right here, the Patreons, the absolute most awesome people in the world. They are killing it this year in every aspect of ham radio and every aspect in their relationship with this channel. Thank you guys, each and every one of you. Also, the guys in green in chat, or maybe a blue if you're a moderator, the YouTube members, thank you guys very much. Working on a couple of things for you guys to make you stand out a little bit more as well. And then the ever-changing board. Kilo 8 Golf Quebec with a big move. Moved itself up to the third spot. Whiskey 4 Golf Sierra. Big move into the top 5. So thank you guys very much. And guys, let me tell you, there is one of you that could knock Dan off of the board.
That's right. I'm on the bubble.
For $1. It's a certain person.
Well, you weren't supposed to say that.
but here's the thing. He might pop right back on the board on the first because all the donations from the Patreons and stuff comes in again on the first.
You never know.
For a day or so, he would be off the board. Might not even make it to the Sunday stream, but we'd know he's been off. Yeah. And you know what? Actually, there's somebody out there that I want to thank for an off-stream donation, and I want to thank them from the bottom of my heart. It's my mystery donator, and if you would just come forward, send me an email, and let me know who you are, you could knock Dan off the board, because not only would you knock Dan off the board, you would go to the very top of the class.
That's right.
So the very top of the class. And I'm not saying what was donated or anything like that, because then everybody's just going to try to claim it was them. So you got to tell me what it was. Anyway, what's up, Dan? How's it going?
It was a POTA branded pair of knickers. What's up, everybody? Happy Wednesday. Happy Hump Day. Everybody in the chat. Zulu, Romeo X-Ray. Good to see you. Kilo 8 Golf Corvette. Terry. Eddie, November Lover. Good to see you, buddy. Georgia Parks and Propagation. If you haven't seen that name before, that is Chris Alpha Echo 4 X-Ray Oscar's new YouTube channel. Go subscribe. Whiskey 8 Echo Romeo and family. Hiking and Hammond, Lou, good to see you. Sandy, George, Bang Bang, the Duke of Alabama, KY4GM. What's going on? Kenny Adams, Rogers in the house. Kurt, good to see you. Patrick, Craig, and Stephen with the super chat.
And Stephen with the super chat. And Stephen says to donate his super chat to the 11th place person.
There you go.
And you know what? Just because I'd like to see Dan go off the board for a day or so till the Patreon money comes through, we're going to do that, Stephen. You're not getting credit for your $1.99. So now in 10th place is Kilo Oscar 4 Fox Sierra Zulu. Congratulations, Chris.
That is
Or
awesome.
just a fart sniffing zebra.
That's right. That's right. What's been going on with you, man? You have you liked the bands lately?
Dude, I hate the band. And you know what? Before we even get this started, I'm going to go ahead and do this. So, if you are okay, now I'm going to put this out there really quick. I don't care what the forecast is. I don't care what the space weather says. I don't care if you tell me that we're having a flare in 2 minutes. If I'm in the park, I'm still going to activate. But with that being said, it is also an aggravating time to do. So if you know anything decent about space weather or forecast and stuff, and you would like to come on and talk about it a little bit, I'm going to drop this link right here in the chat, and you're welcome to do that. Please do not just randomly show up and not know nothing about propagation or space or solar weather. Not that we don't love you all, but please know something.
Them daggone flares, they go popping and stuff, and popping and flares and stuff.
And the Duke of Alabama, Hiken and Hammond, says he's going to send you an email shortly. So Hiken and Hammond, I would appreciate it if you would send me an email shortly, because that'll remind me that I need to email you as well, because I've been meaning to email you for 3 days. So since we got that straight,
send me an email to remind me to email you.
Hey, that'll work. That'll work in my world. Okay.
Yeah, man, it's been rough during the day, man. It's but right now, 40 meters is hopping because the evil devil sun's going down.
Of course, like last night, I literally went out and destroyed it. I think it's something like 240 some contacts last night, which, considering earlier that day I had did 3 activations that equaled about 50 contacts. I mean, come on. I get it. It's summertime, but summertime's not normally this bad.
Well,
I went out today.
It's getting to the point too where it's just so daggum hot here during the day that get your morning activation in and then cool off and relax the rest of the day and then go out later on for the evening. So,
You know, I like that idea. I do. I'm trying to get on that early morning, late afternoon schedule, and it works pretty much. You know, today I had to take somebody to the doctor, so I did get a little bit midday active. But the problem is, even doing that early morning, if I drive kind of, you know, unless I stay here and do my local 3 parks, which everybody knows will probably get done anyway that day. But I'm working on certain parks, and if I drive that far, it's kind of hard for me not to go to a couple more while I'm there.
yeah.
And I deal with this stupid propagation. So it's just, I don't know.
Sandy, that is an understatement. But you're correct.
When I was out today at 1:00 and I called CQ 4 times, and I know, here we go. You're going to say, oh boy, you have problems. When I called CQ 4 times before I got somebody to come through, the bands are horrible. But the one station that come through, and I'm calling on sideband, is Steven with his CW. So CW to the rescue.
Did you have that sinking feeling in your stomach like I did when the bands were horrible and you're calling CQ and CQ and CQ and you finally get somebody and then you realize, now I gotta get more.
I worked Steven, and that's immediate thought. I was like, oh, it's going to be bad because now I got to get 9 more. But then 3 more people came right behind him, including Charlie Whiskey Bravo, which is only like a 5.6 to 5.7. And you know if he's 5'6" or 5'7", it's going to be bad. But then after there's 4 total. Then I have to call CQ 6 or 7 more times before I get somebody else.
Wow.
And yeah, I got activated in under 30 minutes. I think I made 30-ish calls or so, but it's horrible, a horrible feeling.
I don't get
Anybody
to
who
go out. I mean, I don't get to go out during the week in the day very much because I'm at work. So yeah, I'm not. It's not very often I get to experience that bad propagation during the middle of the day. See, Patrick says Ward Silver. He's a friend of amitriptyline anesthetic zero Zanzibar. Whoever that guy is. I've seen that call sign around. I just can't place his name. Oh, Kyle. Yeah, you said it in there. Apparently, he knows a lot about you.
Hey, if he's out there tonight and wants to pop on the show and talk about it, we'll talk about it. Because me and Dan, we're both under the assumption that you just go out and activate and you don't worry about it. And you just make it happen.
The most I know about it is we're at the peak, if not rising up to the peak of the current solar cycle. And sunspots good, flares bad.
Yeah.
But the problem with the peak of the solar cycle is there's more sunspots, which is good, but there's also more flares. So you have to kind of take take one with the other one. You know what I mean?
Well, see, I can predict a flare. I'm really good at predicting flares. I am. I'm excellent at predicting flares. So, Terry, we'll talk about your girl Clarice in just a second.
Oh, that's great.
But I'm really good at predicting flares. What I do is I go to a park and I spot.
There you go.
And that is me predicting a flare because within plus or minus 3 minutes from when I spot, there's a flare that's going to happen.
And conversely, you can make the flares go away by just saying QRT.
And at least Terry did try to warn me this morning. I was on my way, and I did get a text, and it said something like, "What did you do to 40 meters? It don't work at all," or something. I don't remember the exact words. So of course, the first thing I do is go spot on 40 meters. And Terry, by the way, did work me. He may have been a 2-2, but he worked me.
Oh, he's right over that hill. He ought to be able to.
No, he's a little further today. He was definitely a little further today. Brent got in. I think Brent was a 3-3 to me today on that activation. Good to hear those 3-3s. It was good to hear anybody out there. I'll tell you, it was kind of rough. But what surprised me, this is what surprised me. So I did 40 meters and I did 20 meters SSB. And then I went to 15 meters SSB, got nobody on 15 meters SSB at all. So then I went to 40 CW, got some. And then I went to 30 meters, old trusty 30 meters. 30 meters always works, and got no one on 30 meters CW.
Wow. That's crazy. No, I remember, I know you just mentioned that that Craig came in at 5'7" and you were surprised. I remember one activation a while back that the bands were so bad. I got both Craig and Chris, Charlie Golf Charlie, and they were both like 5'5" down here. And I'm like, this is not going to be a good day.
It's funny because I can't tell you exactly what kind of activation I did the other day because that would let the bag out for tomorrow's video. Tomorrow's video is going to be interesting to watch. But let's just say that tomorrow's video should have been a QRP activation. It should have been with QRP gear. But instead, there was an 891 with a 15 amp hour battery. And so everything else was QRP gear. We're talking the 316 coax from AVR. We're talking, everything else was QRP, but the radio was the 891 and the 15, because of course you can't run the 891 on the little battery. So
It's all right, Scott. You have to remind them during the live streams because I sent him a Discord message too, and I don't think he's seen it yet either.
so I'm liking what Craig said. Craig said I was a 5-1 there.
Yeah,
And I'll take
but
that.
loud and clear.
I'll take that.
It reminds me of sometimes on the higher bands. I mean, your S meter won't even move, but the person sounds perfect. You know.
I mean, there's times that there's times I don't hear a single letter or number when people call their call signs, but I know their tones. And basically, when I just know your tone and I know that's your voice, you're getting between a 2-2 and a 1-1 is how well I hear that tone. And you know, it happens. But the other day, I was activating, and Joe even said something in Discord. Said, "Do you have ears? There's like 5 people calling you," because I was hopping to another band. I was like, "Yeah, I know there's at least 4 or 5 people, but they're all 1-1, and they're all calling at the exact same time.
Yeah,
So it's just like a 1-1."
it's a little QRP pileup.
Yeah.
You should have called PP Man, and held the phone to the speaker and said, "Could you decipher this for me?"
Speaking of QRP and the PP Man,
Uh-oh.
I've got a bone to pick with.
Here we go.
So we all know that, again, there's nothing wrong with doing FT8. But I don't do FT8 until the first when I start the Lewis and Clark trail. Then, of course, my FT8 stats go through the roof. But that's a different story. We all know I don't do it. So if I don't do FT8 or FT4, why would you think that I would take an FT8 SSB contact? So
What now?
PP Man comes in my log last night, and he's 5'5", 5'6", make the contact. He's like, I got a second operator. I said, okay, second operator, and he gives me Steven's call sign. So I log Steven's call sign in the logger, and then I'm sitting there thinking, wait, I just worked Steven park to park. Steven's in Indiana. How was Steven with PP Man in Michigan? And I get to think. So what comes to find out, his call got removed from my log because Steven was on the phone with PP Man, and PP Man said he had a second operator.
What?
So PP Man, we don't do that FT SSB calls.
Oh, that's great. I'm gonna call somebody in Japan and say stand by for the second activator.
Yeah, they were. I'm sure PP Man was just joking with me, but yeah, because he wasn't a great signal anyway. I was like, okay, and I put it in there, and I was like, wait, Steven, that was all PP.
Way to throw him under the bus there, brother. Steven's like, I didn't have a damn thing to do with that. That's all that guy.
Because Steven's been talking about going out and getting PP Man to do a CW activation and stuff. So it didn't click on me until I was like, wait, I just worked Steven park to park like twice in the same activation. He's in Indiana because I know the parks he's got.
I think PP Man is almost ready for his CW activation, and I think in PP, when you go back to watch this, I'm not saying anything bad about you, so nobody's gonna try to force you to do something you don't want to. But I think you passed up on a golden opportunity for your first activation to have somebody like Steven there to hold your hand through it. I wish I'd have had somebody like that when I did my first activation. But do it when you're ready. But don't get caught in the mental rut that I was in for a while, because if you wait until you do your first activation when you think you're ready for it, you're never going to think you're truly ready for it. So just get out there, like Kyle says, rip the damn Band-Aid off. Go.
So Larry, I would agree with that. And lately, when Toby's in my log, it's he's been a 5.7. So you know the bands are bad. And also, I would say that if you don't hear Larry 5.9 plus, it's the same way. He's being a little modest there because Larry's always got a booming signal.
Larry's 5'9" plus no matter where I am on the East Coast. Last summer, so he's always 5'9" here in South Georgia, North Florida. My last rove last summer up the East Coast, no matter where I was in what state, anywhere between here and Maine, he's 5'9" plus.
Actually, he's 5.9A.
5'9A, yeah.
Oh,
Alpha Echo 4 X-Ray Oscar did his first CW activation on Monday. Awesome, buddy.
good stuff, man. Listen, it'll save you right now when the way these band conditions are. It will absolutely save you. I mean, I got activated on sideband before I ever went to CW, but of course, yeah. And here's the bonus kicker. Here's the bonus kicker for all you people who really struggled to hunt me and made sure you got through. You got 2 contacts from me. I was at a twofer. I wasn't
There you go.
advertising. I
Speak
was
of
at a
the
twofer.
speak of the
You can,
devil, like Beetlejuice, PP is in the chat, and I heard he's not feeling well. Had a little stomach bug. So, buddy, I hope you do feel better, and drink a lot of fluids, chicken soup, get better, and go activate CW.
you know, PP man, I really feel bad for you that you're feeling bad. But if you would turn up the power, you would feel so much better in life.
Kick a man while he's down. Why don't we? That's
But
not fair.
his signal's always down. When do you want me to kick him?
Yeah. Well, not really. If you're in the same park. Well, wait. No. If you're at the same table, he's actually pretty strong.
You know what? I'll tell you what. I heard that he was really loud when he was at Caesar's Creek this year.
I think he was running QRO, but don't tell
Oh,
anybody.
it was. Is that what it was?
Shh, don't tell.
Is that what it was? I heard he was really loud that time.
I hope you get to feel better, buddy. Drink a lot of water and take care of yourself.
Absolutely. We wish nothing but the best for you. That way when you come back, we can mess with you even worse.
Yeah. We miss you around these parts. But yeah,
right. So nobody wants to come on and talk solar with us, Dan. So,
I was just about to say nobody knows what the hell the sun's doing. I guess.
So we have determined that we're now solar experts. Here's your solar forecast. Go out and activate, and go out and hunt. Don't look at it. It doesn't matter. If you can't hear the person that's activating, find somebody else on the spotting page and go hunt them.
Yeah.
Problem solved.
That's pretty much what I do anyway. I don't look at the forecast before I go out and just.
It's funny because my very, very first year in POTA, I'd look at that thing and I'm like, man, it says this and this and this. And there was times that I'd just talk myself out of an activation and I just stopped. I was like, you know what? I'm just going out because there are people that's going to hunt you. And
Yeah.
they're like,
go
some of the POTA hunters are like Liam Neeson. They will find you.
That's right. It's true. I have a very special set of skills. Now, the only time I really look at the solar forecast and what it's really doing is if I'm hunting and there's nothing on the scope, I'll actually look and see why. Or if I'm out on activation and I'm having trouble, I'll look and see why. But I mean, that doesn't deter me from going out. So
I don't even do that. If I've called CQ more than 2 times and nobody's answered me, I look in Discord and I see who's fussing about the bands, and
yeah,
I judge by the caliber of hunter that's fussing
that's right.
to start making a plan from there.
That's right.
So if it's somebody that doesn't normally have the greatest signals, listen, no worries, I'm sticking with what I got.
Yeah, like if Craig, Charlie Golf, Charlie, me, and Terry all get on it, man, the band suck. It's like we might want to stay home.
If those people are saying 40 meters sucks, I'm going to 20. I'm going to 15. I'm going somewhere else. Or like Mike here, I'm going to CW because I'm going to get activated on CW.
Hey, how about this badassery right here? NAYO, I bounced CW off of CMEs. Heck yeah, CME bounce, baby. It's that CME scatter.
So not too long ago, Mike jumped in chat and he said that he was going to rag you with me on my CW activation, but I was just all business. He didn't figure it right. So I got to thinking, I was like, I do need to expand my CW game, and I need to start, decoding some ragju stuff. And I've been playing it a couple of times now, and you know what? I like ragju on CW less than I like it on regular radio.
Yeah.
Because I don't know what it is. You send me call signs, I can work my way through that call sign. You send me a paragraph, and I got 2 words in that paragraph, and the rest of it is just belong to me.
I got and it. Yeah, I know the feeling.
I am trying to work on it a little bit more, but
What do they say? I use amateur radio to make contacts, not have conversations.
I mean, guys, I'm a total guy. You know, a conversation with me is you're 5'9" and 1810. Thanks for the hunt 73. Yours that is a conversation with me.
Absolutely. And Patrick brings up a good point about CW. Evan has said, "Don't get good to get on the air. Get on the air to get good. Practice.
Yeah.
Do it in real life."
I'll play with people sometimes and I'll there you go. Eyeball QSOs in Discord. I agree with you, Mike. It's just I don't know. I want to learn to do it, but it's just it, and I'll be honest, my hunters, half of them don't decode nothing I send extra anyway.
Well, I'll be
Like
honest too that there's some people and nobody currently in the chat, mind you, but there are some people that I don't even want to have an eyeball racked you with. Just saying, I mean, if those certain people walk up to me and start trying to have a eyeball rag to, I might just say, "You're 3-3," and I can barely hear you. I mean, I don't know what's going on. Probably must be a solar flare between us. I mean, you're
man,
fading out.
don't be so rude. Terry is in the chat.
No, not Terry.
Hmm. Here we go.
Lou, that would be great, dude. Because I would try to decode that listening, and I would probably lose it and fall off on my chair.
Well, here's the thing. When you hunt me, you are welcome to send that. And after you get done totally sending that, I'm probably not even going to send 73. I'm just going to dit. And it's like I'll get these park to parks and they'll be sending like 3 numbers, and I'm really trying to get all 3 numbers and 3 sets of numbers. And most of the time I do, but there's sometimes when I'm just getting those 3 sets of numbers, I'm like, oh my God, why does this not end?
That is true. I've started. Okay, so I got a little rant about CW people that don't listen. On the end of every CW contact that I make as an activator, I'll send my call sign. That's just the way I do my activation. So I'll say 73 DE WD4 DAN dit. It's just the way I do it. That way I ID after every call. Everybody knows who it is. I mean, I ID. But apparently, some people will hear that DE dit and think that's a dit, and then they'll start just sending their call signs. like I'm asking for, resume the pilot. So I've recently started, instead of saying 73 DE WD4DAN, I'll just send 73 WD4DAN. Dit. Because apparently people will hear that dit and think that's a dit that I'm done with my conversation. Listen, people, listen.
It's because, you know what? Speaking of listening, I'm going to tell you what. If you are a POTA hunter or activator, and I don't care if you are a beginning POTA hunter or an expert hunter, a beginning POTA activator or an expert activator, there's a new series coming out on YouTube. It's called POTA from beginner to expert, and it actually debuts this Friday on the Ham Radio Adventure Guide channel. And the first episode is actually just an introduction, but you do get a one-time beginner tip at the end of that introduction video. It's going to come out every week, but you guys should really start watching it because you're going to hear that over and over and over. Listen, 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 because I can't tell you. Just like I will send back the Kilo 9 or Alpha Echo Echo, and when I hit Echo Echo, people will start sending their call signs because they think
Yes.
I'm going dit.
That's happened to me before with Ken. Yep.
I'm like,
Listen.
guys, pay attention. Or worse, I'll go November 4 question mark, and you'll get Kilo 6.
Whiskey
Romeo
Delta.
Delta
Yeah.
is something.
Yeah.
And then I go November 4 question mark, and you'll get Whiskey 7. Come on, guys. Just
And
listen.
not only in CW, dude, sideband too. I mean, I consider myself a decent, fairly seasoned POTA hunter. I've been around the block, right? If it's an activator that I haven't worked before, I don't work very much. I'm going to listen to him take like 3 or 4 calls in his pilot before I jump in, just to reacquaint myself if I haven't heard him in a while, or even learn a new guy how he runs his piles. I'm not just going to jump right in, right, when he says QRZ for the first time I hear it. I want to see how he handles the pile first. Listen, even for seasoned people that have been doing this for 70,000 years on 80 meters, listen.
Everybody runs their pile up different. It's so rare that you hear two people that's just alike. There are people that are similar, but everybody runs it different. For example,
I have people call me James.
I'm going to say two excellent activators. One of them on this stream right now is myself. That's right. I'm going to call myself an excellent activator. But there's another one in the chat, and that is Curtis. Two excellent activators. We couldn't be no more different in the style that we activate.
That's true.
I am fast, to the point, and efficient. Curtis takes his time. He will talk to you, but is also efficient in what he does. There's neither one of us right. There's neither one of us wrong. Actually, we're both right because we're running the pile up the way we want to.
I'm about to say you're
But
both
in
right.
order
Correct.
to break myself or Curtis's pile up, you got to listen to how we're running it, because you won't break Curtis's pile up the way you break mine, and you won't break mine the way you break Curtis's.
Curtis is a I'm running my pile up. I got my legs kicked back in my sofa, smoking a fine cigar, drinking a nice aged whiskey or bourbon, taking a sip, calling you back, relaxed, chill. James is I just slammed 2 Red Bulls and a Monster and let's go.
I was gonna say I was the door opening at Black Friday sale on Friday morning.
That's right.
Yeah. But I'm dead serious. And it makes me so mad. I've never got so mad at one time I heard somebody giving Curtis a hard time because of the way he ran a pile up. And typically when somebody else is running a pile up, I keep that. But when that guy started going off, I hunted Curtis after it, and I and I told him what a great job he was doing, and that that guy was a jerk because he is
He
no
is.
different than Curtis would do for me if some guy was telling me that I'm a horrible activator, that I go too fast. If you need me to slow down, I will, but don't need me to slow down to ask me what I ate for breakfast.
Yeah. And if you don't like the way somebody's running their activation, guess what? Spin the dial. You don't got to hunt them.
That's right.
Yeah, I mean, you don't have to. Trust me, it's not the end of the world.
But you just gotta listen how they do it. It's
Yeah,
that simple, and also listen. And if you don't hear them, why are you throwing out your call? Because this is what really gets me is when somebody's throwing out their call and they don't hear me anyway. Because sometimes I typically have pretty good ears out there, and I will be like calling you right back, and then you don't answer, and I'll call you back again, and you don't answer, and I'll call you back. This is the last try, and you don't answer. So I'll say QRZ, and then you call your call sign again. If you don't hear me, don't waste your time calling.
and the next person, the next person when me and James are activating together, that calls me James or calls him Dan, you're not going in a log. That's it. Tired of it.
I don't care. I'll put you. I'll put you in my log.
I'll put my foot down right now. No, I think it's funny.
I actually love when me and Dan is activating together, and say he has the mic, and somebody says, "You're 5'9", James," and he just sort of chuckles. He's like, "Yeah, you're 5'9". He hands me the mic, and I'm like, "This is Whiskey Delta 4 Delta Alpha November. You're 5'9", and and they never know the difference.
Yeah, they'll be like, all right, thanks, Dan, 7-3.
Uh,
Oh man. We do kind of run our activations similar. Yeah, it's a hard word for me to say. Almost the same. How about that synonym for that word I can't say? So they probably get mixed up who's who. KE8 Dan. I don't want to be an 8. I like 4s. The only thing I don't like about 4 is if somebody's running the numbers and they say, okay, 4 stations now, you still got to fight your way through.
oh, I know it. Even if you say, "All right, the Kilo Oscar 4 station."
Yeah.
Oh my God, there's 11 of you.
You start doing it by suffix. If the last letter in your call is alpha, call now.
Another group of people that don't listen. Hey, thank you very much for the super chat, Eddie.
That's right. Spin the
Here's
dial instead of whining. That's
He
right.
says whining on Facebook, which I agree with even more. The cesspool POTA, the POTA Facebook page.
I haven't been on there. I mean, I haven't seen anything noteworthy lately on there.
But here's the thing: I try not to even look at it, but sometimes it'll pop up in my feed. That's why, luckily, I'm very seldomly on Facebook, but it never seems to fail if I'm on there and there's a POTA post. I look at it and I'll see like either the first or second comment, or I'll see the title of the thing, and I'm like, oh, here we go, garbage.
The only thing I don't like about it is if somebody asks a question and then the first person or second person that replies gets the answer wrong. And then other people will reply to that and say, no, that's not the right answer. This is the correct answer. I wish the people that answered wrongly would just go back and delete their comment. That way, that way, years from now, when somebody's searching like they do, if somebody's searching for an answer for something, they don't see wrong information.
Yeah,
But yeah, Patrick has a point. European, I'm not going to say all Europeans. I know a lot of really good European activators and radio operators, both hunters and activators alike. But I will say it might be more prevalent coming from Europe area. Maybe language barrier issue. I'm not quite sure, but they seem to always just send their call sign, call sign, call sign, call sign. They don't care if you're in the middle of a conversation, they're blasting their call sign. Sometimes it does get aggravating.
it does. It does. You know, uh, let's go on to a good topic. I'm gonna give a shout out to Steven because Steven started his CW journey way back when the whole PZN crew started their CW journey. He's been killing it lately, but I tend to stay at 22 words a minute because the average POTA hunter hunts from around 16 to 20, 21. Sometimes you'll get 22 just fine. And there are some people that activates faster than that and they slow down. People like Bill Brown, he could activate at any speed you would need him to. But Steven's been killing it lately, and he's been activating around 24 words a minute. And I don't hunt a whole lot, but the other night, which was a park to park still, but I went to grab him, and I come in there and I could hear. I was like, "Ooh, he's about 24." I got to crank up to 24 and just send at that speed, and it was a refreshing pleasure to just actually get to play on 24 because 24. I feel very comfortable on 24. I can go a little higher than that, but I feel very comfortable there, and it was quite refreshing. And then I got to even play with him even more. I waited about a minute or so and then threw out the club call. I always try to throw him with that club call.
Yeah, he's been doing really good on CW. He's been a lot of activation time, a lot of practice time, and it's really showing. It's really showing. He's excelling
Again,
rapidly.
I think he sold his microphone to afford buying him and his dad new radios or something because
Yeah, I
I don't
agree.
think he has a microphone no more. He's like, yeah, 24, 25 words. I knew it was at least 24 that he was sending, so I cranked mine up to 24.
I always hit
But
him like 35, and he knows who it is, though.
well, yeah, you can, but here's the problem, and Dan don't realize that sometimes, and
Everybody
actually
else.
Dan don't care if he's doing it to me or Steven, because Dan will hit us with 35 words a minute, and we'll immediately answer Dan because we got it. But then SM5 ONT hears that, and he cranks his thing up to 35 words a minute and sends to us, and I'm like, huh? What?
uh, that's
That's
so
another
much
thing. I've been
fun.
trying to work some more. I've been trying to work more 15-meter CW so I can get used to hearing the foreign stations because I'm used to most of my POTUS calls now, and I don't want to get stale. I want to still keep fighting and fighting and fighting it. So that's right. We don't need microphones. That's right, Stephen. You don't unless you're going to hunt people that don't know CW.
Yeah, the foreign call signs throw me for a loop. I had one from France last time I activated CW, and it took me. I thought I was missing like a K on the front because it started with a foxtrot, and I thought it was like a KF, and I never did hear anything in front of the F, so I thought I was going crazy, and then it dawned on me. I said, "Oh, that's Gene over in France."
Yeah, I had one that started with an O the other day, and it threw me because I kept thinking it was like a kilo Oscar,
Yeah.
but it was. I got Finland and the Netherlands. I think back to back that
See
day.
what threw me so much about Gene? It was a Fox 4 India Lima Hotel,
Okay.
and it was on 15 meters, and the bands were just wide open. He was solid for real 5.7, and 5.7 on CW. That's you're loud, you're strong. It's a really good signal. So I thought I was actually missing somebody uh, local, so to speak, because the signal was so good. I didn't even think that'd be across the pond. Somebody coming in so strong. It's just get out there and
That's
practice.
that's the big thing. I figure when I'm doing my mountain bike road because I'm going to have QRP, I figure any daytime activations are going to be CW. I figure, and then every evening when I know the bands are at their best, I'm
Oh,
going to pop in there and do the side band because I've got one person in the PZN challenge that only does side band.
Dude, I just had a grand idea for your mountain bike growth. All right, check this out. Everybody's gonna love this. So you're gonna be doing CW. You should mount your key on your handlebar like a little bike bell, so you can just like use it as a bike bell, but send Morse code.
Yeah, but I'm not when I'm doing the bike roof, I'm actually gonna be stopping and activating. There's
No,
not gonna be an antenna on the mountain bike.
you should put a little. I don't know, a little sporty 40 or something off the back of the mountain bike.
Yeah, you still gotta have radials.
Yeah, that's true.
The whole dragon wire thing I don't wanna do. Look at Terry. Terry's sending a super chat because he's trying to get me to buy him beer. Because we all know that Terry is the guy, who. Matter of fact, if you go to the Patreon members page, you can see pictures of Terry packing his Bud Light around Dayton.
That's very true.
All happy as can be. Look there. Fox Arizona just knocked Dan deeper off
That's
the
right.
board.
I got some catch up to make now. I'm not going to be on there come Sunday.
No, actually, Sundays after the first, will be back on there.
Oh,
Because I happen to know that Dan is a King's Court member and a Photo Rover. Are you a Rover?
I don't know. Here, hold on, I'll tell you.
You're either a Rover or the one right under it.
Activator.
Okay, you're the one under it.
No, yeah, activator.
You're an activator. So he's a King's Court and a Photo activator. So he's got donations coming in on the first. But
Eastern Standard Time with a 2:01.
thank you very much for the 201. Michael's still been coming in really good with the bad bands. I mean, even when he's he hit me park to park, and he was still 5'9". He's bad band conditions, so he's working it.
There's a couple of staples out there that I listen to figure out band conditions. It's Charlie Golf Charlie, Charlie Whiskey Bravo Craig, Kilo 4 Lima India, Josh always loud. And if any of those three really are 5.5 or worse, I know it's gonna not be a good day.
Mike says, don't take a mic just on my account." No, Mike, I'm taking a mic just on your account because I want you to continue to be in that challenge. But it'll probably be that you'll probably get me on the late shift the night before every day. That's what you're probably going to get me on. I mean, I'll probably try sideband during the day, but I won't promise it.
See you, Curtis. He's getting ready for an ISS pass here in a few minutes, running some satellites. Good to see you on the stream, buddy.
Hey,
Always
good luck with that. I see you've been really trying to get into that, and I'm trying myself. So hopefully soon I'll be making a contact with you on there.
Oh, ta-ta owes taxes.
Oh, Tata's been breaking in lately quite a bit. He he got in that big pile up last night. I mean, we were deep in the pile last night. The bands were great, and here he come, and he got the full oh Tata treatment.
That was awesome.
It's great stuff. So I've been watching my emails. Still nobody going to claim the mystery donation. Like,
I'll claim it.
yeah, Dan unfortunately knows what the items are, so Dan is void
Yeah, I can't claim it. That's right.
because Dan asked me what they were. I'm going to give it till right before Sunday's stream, and if nobody has claimed it, I still appreciate the donation very much. I do. And they said they're not going to claim it, so I don't look for them too. But I do the things I do for youth, not for people to praise me or donate stuff. I do the things I do for the youth because I love the youth and I want to keep ham radio alive. And there's no better way to keep ham radio alive than support the youth that do it. So
And I said at the beginning of the stream, and I'll tell you again, it was a beautiful, beautiful package of POTA embroidered knickers. You should see. I mean, the logo is very plush.
And I'm going to agree with Sandy. Hit that like button. And one more thing, if you are not subscribed, let's try something here, because I looked at my number before we went into the stream, and I'm weird about numbers. I'd really like to have 10 new subscribers by tomorrow morning. So if you're not subscribed and you can subscribe and make that 10 happen, that would be really, really awesome. No, it doesn't get me to a big number, nothing. I'm weird about numbers. I'm like that when I activate too. I was like, oh great, I went over. I gotta get 7 more now. I'm that guy. So hit that like button. And if you're not subscribed, subscribe. The 15% of you that is watching this or will watch this, that drives me insane. 15% of the people who watch this stream on a regular basis, I mean, they watch it like almost every week, is not subscribed. Why? Just hit the button.
Hit the button.
Hit the button.
Hit the button. Hit the button. Hit the button. Do it now. Hit the button.
No taxes for me. He QRT'd, but little does Michael know he did pay taxes with his off-stream donation. I did not thank him for his off-stream donation, but thank you, Michael. He paid taxes anyway.
It is almost June.
It is almost June. That
Means
means you know
gonna get
what I
hotter.
really you know what I really hate about it being almost June? I
It's
looked at my main numbers last night and I was like, oh my God, where's my numbers?
You think they'll get better or worse in June?
I don't know.
It's hotter, and more
Honestly,
freak storms.
wish I had numbers for my very first year of activation for a month, because I think this would be worse than them.
Yeah.
Like it, the numbers are horrible. But when you're going out, the activations ain't horrible. I'm still averaging, three is a normal day, but I'm averaging probably closer to 4 or 5 a day. Did I do a bike activation yesterday? I don't know, Terry. Did I?
Oh my goodness.
Inquiring minds want to know, Terry.
Uncle Terry. Excuse me, Grampy Terry.
Yeah, Grandpa Terry.
Yeah.
The Rose kids have renamed Uncle Terry to Grandpa Terry.
Gramps. Call him Gramps on the radio.
Yeah, I don't know, but I'll tell you, Terry. I think Terry is that guy that cuts his grass like 4 times a week. Because every time he misses me on a band, I'm like, dude, you missed me. He's like, yeah, I was cutting grass.
Well, what? So you're never supposed to cut more than a third of the grass at any one time, anyway, because you have to let the grass recover for a healthy lawn. So you might be doing it the right way.
Listen, you can forget sidewalk Cherry having a healthy lawn. Then I think she's got to cut grass like 7 times a week.
Does she scalp it?
She says, this grass is ridiculous. It's so thick. I'm like, it's the smallest grass on the whole street. There's no reason to cut this grass. Okay, maybe Terry's not cutting the grass. Maybe Terry's smoking the grass. I'm not sure.
It's a possibility.
No, James never ordered a KH1 for multiple reasons. Number one, it's expensive. Number two, even if I had that much money to spend on a radio, there's no way I would pay it and then wait however long the wait is right now for the radio. Look
That
there,
was a
sidewalk cherries,
that was a
like
bad thing.
sidewalk cherries, like Beetlejuice. She pops in the chat when you
Oh
talk about
yeah,
her too.
that was a bad thing when I ordered my cakes too. It took what felt like forever to get it, but it was worth the wait.
Hold on. Let me figure up. Terry, yesterday was Tuesday. No, I did not.
Brent said, "All I know is I think I'm ready for the solar cycle to be over." I don't know. When there's not flares popping off, I mean, just because 40 and 20 is not working well for you, try. And there's currently not a flare. Try the higher bands. Get on
Dude, I'm
15.
I'm sorry, but
Yeah.
no.
Well,
The
15 from West Virginia doesn't work very well anyway.
I'm talking the other day I did 40, 20, 15, 17, and 10. And it didn't help.
Are you in a valley or anything like that? Or I know sometimes you say 20 doesn't work very well in some of your
I don't
parts.
I don't remember where I was.
Yeah. Yeah. Brent says he loves the higher bands, morning activations. Yeah.
Yeah, morning activations, you're fine. Morning activations are right now. If you're out activating it, if you want to pay the tax and that be out right now, it's a good time to be out.
Michael said the other day, 15 meters had a steady stream of Euro stations. Yeah, I mean, when it's good, it's good. When it's bad, it's nothing. It's just the way it works.
Alrighty. Well, anyway, we're about to the top of the hour, and I'm getting ready to do one of my favorite things. Actually, I'm getting ready to do two of my favorite things.
Eat ice cream?
Before I jump into the after chat, I'm going to go in there and I'm going to heat me up some Chef Boyardee pizza because there's nothing better than Chef Boyardee pizza. If you don't know what Chef Boyardee pizza is, you had a horrible childhood. There, I said it.
There you
But
go.
after that, I'm going up and dancing and thinking, did I have a horrible childhood? I don't know what Chef.
I've never had chip. I've had DiGiorno and
You've never had
Tombstone.
a homemade Chef Boyardee pizza,
I
Dan?
have not.
Oh my gosh. What is wrong with you?
I guess I know what you're doing in Huntsville.
I bet I bet the chicks don't even know the name of your band or nothing.
They don't. And we're probably still the only two on the. If anybody
Anyway,
in the stream just got that comment, just comment one. We have a minute left in the stream. That's all I need to know.
people's gonna hit one just because you told them to hit one.
Probably. Yeah.
But anyway, after that, I'm going over to the after chat and hanging out with the Patreons because we will get into either a radio talk. Probably for the first hour, we'll probably talk some radio. B, some absolute sheer nonsense that has something to do with Terry or PP Man. Or C, people will have questions that will start about radio and end up in sheer nonsense.
Or D, they'll try to be figuring out the name of our band.
and nobody got it either.
And
Still,
nobody knows it.
so anyway, if you don't know what the after chat is it a Patreon benefit? Do you want to come in there and do it? That's cool. Go over to Patreon and try a free 7-day trial, and then hop in Discord or message myself and Dan, and we'll get you set up. And we'll all hang out in after chat.
Terry.
Dan's still laughing, and I don't know what.
Terry wants to know how much for an activation this evening.
Listen, $400 right now for a late shift. Listen, if Terry will pay $400 for a late shift, I will be late for after chat. I'll even be late for Chef Party Pizza for $400. You got until the microwave bell rings, Terry. That's all I'm saying.
That's great.
Anyway, all right, guys, we're heading over to after chat after the microwave, and check out Paul's comment. All right. I love it. My sister's not home. Terry has me watching you. Well, Paul Browning, since you're probably not a subscriber, you should click that subscribe button and the like button.
We have a winner.
And Ronnie, in after chat, you have to tell us what that means. All right, 73, everybody.
See you guys. Have a great week.